I'm so excited for today. I have one of my very favorite clients. She's actually a hairstylist from Texas. She drives like 4 hours to come see me. I want to show you guys just how I maintenance my blondes. This isn't a big transformation. We've done her hair 3 times now. We've laid the foundation of her blonde, and I'm just showing you guys how I touch it up, how I refresh it. This is what I'm doing behind the chair 90% of the time. I don't really have a lot of room right now for new clients, so a lot of my clients are just maintaining the work that I've put in, and I love that because it gets easier and easier every time. So I'm super excited. I think we're just brightening her up today. Maybe she'll throw me a curveball and it'll be something different, but I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She's incredible, and it's gonna be a good day. What are you thinking? When do you want to go?
Brighter for sure.
Okay, brighter. I
Hair,
love that.
and then like hers.
Ooh.
How bright her hair is right here.
I love that.
And the ends.
Perfect.
Which my hair
I love
is
that.
bright.
So just brightening up, what are you thinking about your root? Like, are you wanting to kind of...
I like what we did last time. Go
A little
bit
heavier?
brighter. Yeah. I like that for summer. And then I like the money piece still this where it's like there but not.
Yep. So when you showed me, she was like really bright all around her hairline. Just like highlight you and then I'll just go in and wet balayage you. I like my hair.
Yeah.
I just got
I
mine
like
done.
your hair.
But I didn't do
She
a
did
root
really
on
good.
mine. I left it
No?
like unrooted.
Should
You
I
want
do
that?
that?
I just did like, we did a lot of heavy highlights and then I just left it with no root.
That's really good.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll see, after we rinse you, we'll see how it looks with no root. And then we'll decide.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can tell if it's going to look like too chunky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do that. Because
Cute.
my hair's not super dark, so it'd be fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love. We are just going to go in with the original mineral lightener. I'm going to use Super Blonde 9, and I'm going to mix it with my paint powder, and then I'm going to start with 10 volume on her hair because her hair is pretty light.
All right, we're going to start in the back with her hairline foils. I always just section out the front right behind the ear, and then I go in at a diagonal back just right around the hairline. We want to make sure that's nice and bright because if they pull their hair up, I don't want there to be a lot of darkness right there, and this is going to connect our money piece. So I'm doing my partial blonding, so my blonding touch-up is what I call it. And basically when I do this, I do like your typical partial, but I'll go in and I'll do these hairline foils. But then I also felt like she looked pretty dark, so I just wanted to go in and do a few horizontal foils up the back of her head. And I'm going to root through these, so I'm not worried about them being too harsh. And I can show you guys what it looks like once they're dry because it really looks so blendy and bright. We don't really need highlights all the way to the back of the head because if you think about how the sun naturally lightens hair, it doesn't lighten underneath all of the back of your hair because your hair is covering it. So I like to work smarter, not harder, and go in and do these horizontal foils and then just go in and like baby root tap through them. And it just makes it nice and blendy, and it makes it to where when their hair splits, it just doesn't look like a dark hole. So now I'm just going to follow up that mohawk section, and I'm doing my scalp foils. And I pretty much just do this until I can't really reach anymore, and then I will turn her around and I'll start with her money pieces. But with these, I'm just doing my normal slavey lights, and I'm doing a very fine amount of hair in the foil and leaving out a very fine amount of hair as well, so that way we can get the maximum brightness. And she's just going to feel like such a little blondie babe when she leaves. I like starting with the mohawk like this because I feel like I'm not tired yet. And so I put in all the work right there where it matters the most. And then also, it's all going to lift very evenly and very pretty. It's not like my last foil in the mohawk section is processing. My last foil processing will be on the sides of the head. So that way, it's all going to be like that level 10. Even if I have to rinse her like a smidge early, there's not going to be like one foil that's like a level 9 and the rest are level 10. Like it just really lifts very evenly and so pretty. So that's why I love starting with the mohawk section. She had a lot of little baby hairs, so that's why I like to use my Reynolds foils on those front pieces just to make sure I can get all those little babies and not have any slippage. I love my Framar foils, but for the little hairline pieces, I really just go back to my Reynolds because they are so grippy and I find that they don't slip, especially if your client's forehead gets a little sweaty, like those foils aren't going to slip. Now I fold all of those foils back and I'm going up the sides of her head. I start with those hairline foils because you got to do those small, tiny details or else they're going to wear their hair up and it's going to look like a dark hole. Everybody's slicking their hair back right now. We got to make sure that we're putting in the work with those little details. So that way when people wear their hair slicked back, pulled back, it looks beautiful. And this is why we are able to charge what we charge because we're going in there and we're putting these little details in. That's why we're the best at blonding because we care about this and we think about those things like the way that clients are going to style their hair, not just having it look good when it's down and when it's curled, but having it look good at literally every angle. So here's what my foils look like on my blonding touch-up service.
All right, friends, so I already went ahead and mixed up her bulwark, and what I did was I did in the original mineral the clean liquids. I like the clean liquids because they're not as pigmented. It's just like a nice little root blend, and I did a 6-0 and a 7-0, mix that with the activator. And I'm going to tap through the back of and sides of her head, but we're going to leave her mohawk unrooted. Then I did a wet balayage with Blonde Me and 30 Vol. And so I'm going to get her rinsed, and then we're going to mix this up, and we're going to put this on.
So like I mentioned before, I'm only going to root through the back of her head and through the sides of her head. I'm leaving her mohawk section unrooted because the way that I foil is super blendy and it's super pretty. And I just love the way it looks without a root, especially since her natural is so much lighter. And you guys, this is where I really shine. Like, you guys can just call me like Michelangelo because this is where the true artistry comes out. Like, look at that painting. I think I should have been like a painter if I'm being honest with you, but the wet balayage is too good. It's too satisfying. Even if they don't need a wet balayage, I still do it just because I want to look at it and I want to see it. And this is going to be so good. It's going to pull out any just mineral buildup, any hard water, anything on her ends, and it's just going to brighten her even more.
It looks so good.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, that looks stunning.
It's perfect.
That no root, super blendy.
Yep.
But we still like rooted you kind of through there.
So good.
Nice. The tone is so bright.
I love it.
So pretty.
Cute. So good.
So good. Yay. Okay, let's curl you and then we'll get some after.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more blonding, come catch me live with my live blonding demo in Utah or in Oklahoma, and then subscribe for all things blonding.